Torchlight hums and flickers on a leaning wooden post. Highway in the distance, like a never-ending ghost. Floorboards in this hallway carry dust that's not my name. Suitcase by the doorway, boots lined up beside the frame. An emerald mug on the table, map spread open like a wound. Radio low in the kitchen, some old station out of tune. I've slept in back road motels with the carpet gone to threads. Counted ceiling stains like markers for the deals above my head. Rode shotgun with the engines when the trunk was riding full. Met men behind the truck stop where the neon turned to wool. I've left town with no goodbye, more nights than I can count. Paid my way with quiet favors to lines all bloody amount. So I rented this small shelter where the highway bends away. Just a little piece of nowhere where I listen to my sway. Every night I write a sentence to the boy I used to be. Folded once and never met it, let it sit and measure me. I keep a house off the highway, just outside their map, where the engines sound like thunder, but they never cross my track. I'm not hiding like a coward, I'm choosing where I stand. Still an outlaw with a ledger and a plan. House off the highway, where I sharpen up my coat, so I walk back in prepared when I go on that red road. Revolver hangs in shadow on a nail beside the door. Jacket on the chair back, half-pack bag still on the floor. There's a photograph face down of a kid with crooked grin. Same eyes I see in mirrors when I wash the diesel off my skin. I pace between the windows, watch the headlights slide and fade. Think of every quiet exit where I could have stayed and stayed. Listen kid, when you get older, drifting loses half its shine. You'll trade freedom for a pillow if you live past 29. Never jump at every offer, never ride with every call. Keep your name off loose agreements, let the loud ones take the fall. Build a room that no one knows of, where the noise can't shake your head. So when the road comes back to haunt you, you can face it cold instead. I keep a house off the highway, just outside their maps, where the engines sound like weather, and I'm weighing all the gaps. I'm not praying for forgiveness, I'm just tightening how I move, paying interest on my choices with a sharper kind of groove. House off the highway, where I talk myself in line, so when I roll back through the darkness, I stay dangerous by design. Leather chair facing you across this desk. City at my back, like a quiet watching guest. Silver pen resting by a cold glass ring. Files stacked neatly, no loose ends in anything. You lean forward like you're ready for the crown, but you don't know the way when every move pulls down. You see the suits, the knives, the way doors stay wide. Think it's all about fear and the car you ride. You don't see the ledgers with the names crossed twice. The nights I sat here choosing who pays the price. Every favor that you take is a chain on your arm. Every careless sentence is a silent alarm. I earned this calm by walking through the worst of the low. Paid forever quiet with another name I owe. Look out that glass, this city doesn't clap or pray. It just keeps scoring silhouettes and walks away. Up here we live by top floor code. Power stays quiet, moves slow, but it always gets old. If you want this chair and the keys to these ropes, you carry every secret like a lock, heavy load. Top floor code, boy, you don't shout, you don't boast. You just sign what you sign and live with every ghost. Think you're ready cause you've handled small fires, shook hands in back rooms, traded low-level wires. Wait till the call comes with a brother on the line, begging you for mercy when the sums don't align. Will you blink when the numbers say it doesn't belong? Or bend the lines quiet just to drag him along? I won't stand over you when those elevator doors slide. The choice will be yours and it'll live on your side. One night I'll stand up, leave this chair turned slight, walk past the guards, take the service stairs to the night. This room will keep humming with the weight of what we wrote. The city won't flinch, just wait on your hand and you know. Up here we live by a top floor code. Every bright little window sits on someone's load. Desk lamp burning circles on a stack of open books. City laid out in the window like a grid of sharpened hooks. Chessboard by the corner, black night waiting in the wings. Phone face down, red light blinking, little pulse for ugly things. You sit across in a new suit, eyes sharp, a little loud. I've seen 100 young men like you try to stare down every crowd. Ledger on the desktop, every favor has a line. Names and dates and quiet payment, every crack between the signs. Cold coffee by the blotter, pen lid chewed and silver warm. You talk fast about taking blocks, how you rule these streets by dawn. But this room don't answer talking, this room answers to the math. I've buried more ambition than you brought in on your bed. You think power's in the shouting, and the jackets and the cars. But I've watched men drown in glitter, never see the hidden scars. In this life, the ones who last are the ones who never flinch, who can stare down all the numbers and not move an inch. I'm the quiet hand on the ledger, I can save you or let you burn. In this city, every favor is a wheel that's bound to turn. You want a legend in the shadows, want your name to carry through. Better learn to move in silence, let the paper speak for you. I'm the quiet hand on the ledger, I don't boast, I just decide. You either tighten up your coat or get erased from this side. Hallway clock keeps ticking like a hammer in the hall. Folders in the cabinet, keys hanging on the wall. There's a pistol in the drawer, but I hardly touch it now. Steel is only for the nights when the ink can't show you how. Most days it's just a pen stroke, small adjustments in the shade. You never see the fall happen, just the balance getting paid. Listen kid, I'm not your father, I won't drag you off this cliff. All I'll give you is a blueprint and a moment to resist. Keep your temper in your pocket, keep your voice low when you move. Never promise what you can't afford to prove. If you chase the flashing glory, You will feed this room in time as another faded story in a long forgotten line. 'Cause I'm the quiet hand on the ledger, weighing every step you take. I can mark you as an asset or a very costly mistake. You wanna walk like a real man, let the loud ones make the noise. We're the ghost behind the glass here, not the screaming, shining boys. I'm the quiet hand on the ledger, writing futures in the dark. If you wanna live long in this life, be the hand, not just the mark.
Glass this city spread beneath us, little stars and yellow squares. Every window is a legend, every light a set of prayers. There's a folder by your elbow, one more life you wanna take. You keep tapping on the cover like a man afraid of waste. I close the blinds with 2 fingers, leave a crack so streets still glow. Saved arms when I spin it, like it knows what I know. On the wall the cameras flicker, all those faces passing through. You say you want this chair one day, I turn my eyes and look at you. I'm the man above the city, with his fingerprints on every line. If you wanna wear this suit, boy, learn to sleep with what ain't right. There's a glass with melted ice rings, marking circles on my map, lines I drew between the districts, every handshake, every trap. Cufflinks catch the low lamp shimmer when I reach to kill my phone. Power's quiet when it's real, doesn't need to raise its tone. Elevator hum, remember, climbing here from marble floors. I was standing where you're standing, thinking only more and more. Now I count the friends who vanished, like the numbers in this book. You keep asking for the crown, but you don't see the weight it took. I'm a man above the city, with his fingerprints on every line. If you wanna wear this suit, boy, learn to sleep with what ain't right. I've got keys to every back door, every quiet basement room. Every contract has a heartbeat, every favor has a tune. There's a briefcase by the sofa, brushed steel combination set. Every choice you make tonight decides which debts you haven't met. I don't shout, I just say sign it. Watch your knuckles tense and white. Some men crack before the ink dries. Some men learn to hold the night. Out the window traffic crawls like veins around a beating heart. You keep staring at your future like a gun you're scared to start. Than the streets you're climbing from. You will trade your sleep for silence, trade your love for what you've done. You will lose the right to panic, you will lose the right to cry. You will answer for the skyline every time a stranger dies. The city, with his fingerprints on every line. If you wanna wear this suit, boy, learn to sleep with what ain't right. I slide the folder toward you, pen laid steady by its side. Some men sign and keep their posture, some men break and take the ride. Down below, the street keeps shining. None of them will know this night. Either way, I keep my center as the man above the line. telltale sign of buzzing in a tire could get red. The ice machine keeps coughing by the wall outside the bed. Key card on the table, plastic cup with coffee rings. Thin towel on the wardrobe, hiding half a change of things. You're parked out by the pumps, engine idling low and weak. Your hands still shake on the steering, and I don't need to hear you speak. Bathroom fan is humming over tiles gone yellow-gray. Bleach bottle by the faucet like it's pointing out the way. Gloves pulled tight and quiet, zipper whisper on the bag. Curtain barely open, so the neon's just a drag. There's a phone still on the nightstand screen that never stops its glow. Broken lamp and folded papers, breathing secrets soft and slow. You always wait till all your bright ideas come crashing down. Then you dial a number that won't live inside this town. I don't ask you for the story, I can read it on the floor. From the suitcase left half open to the crack in one back door. Send for me at 3 a.m. when you can't sleep through the mess. When the walls lean in too heavy with the things you won't confess. I'm the one who makes it vanish, leaves the room without a stain. Walk out like a businessman who never even learned your name. Send for me at 3 a.m. when your luck runs out again. I can clear away the traces, but I don't wash out the sin. Hotel Bible in the drawer with the matches and a pen. I write a line along the margin just to steady where I've been. Wrap a shirt around a wallet, slip some pictures from the frame. Drop a card into the trash can with the barcode and no name. Boot prints by the doorway trace a story to the light. I erase the ones that matter, leave the ones that won't get caught. Brother, I don't cover anything, I choose what I defend. I won't tidy empty bragging, that'll circle back again. If I move a piece for you, it's 'cause we bled the same cold nights. Shared a lighter by the fences when the sirens cut the lights. One day if you keep running past the edge of what I'll mend, you'll find out I'm not your shadow, I'm the hand that writes the end. They'll send for me at 3 a.m. when you can't sleep through the mess. When the mirror shows a stranger standing in your Sunday best. I'm the one who makes it tidy, walks out quiet, shuts it down. But I won't keep catching lessons meant to knock you to the ground. Send for me at 3 a.m. if I still pick up that call. 'Cause a cleaner with a conscience can step back and let you fall. I've been here too long, watching the lights. The city never sleeps, never gives up the fight. I've made my peace with what's in the game, but something's changed and I'm not the same. The phone rings quiet, but it's all I hear. Every deal's a promise, but the cost is clear. I've always known the city got its pride. No one asks the cost, no one thinks twice. I played my part, kept the balance right. Now I'm seeing shadows in the city lights. The walls are closing in, the pressure grows, but the city's got its own ways to impose. I've built it all, watch your eyes in my hand. Now I feel the cracks, it's slipping through the sand. The city I trusted is turning cold, and I'm realizing the price I've been told. It's the cost of the city, what's paid in the dark. Every move you make leaves a permanent mark. You're loyal to the game, but the game doesn't care. The city's got its hope, but I'm starting to stay. Ooh. The skyline's a ghost in the late night haze. I've counted the debts, but the sum never pays. I built my empire, but I feel the weight. The city demands, but I can't escape. I've done my part, kept the lies in line, but now the truth's showing, it's no longer mine. If I leave, the city won't blink, but I've seen the cracks. Now I start to think, what's the cost of loyalty when the price is too high? Can you trust the city when it makes you wonder why? It's the cost of the city, what's paid in the dark. Every move you make leaves a permanent mark. You're loyal to the game, but the game doesn't care. The city's got its hope, but I'm starting to stare. floor. Mirrors watching while I straighten tie. Carpet hallway, all the framed rewards. Footsteps soft, no one else inside. My name's in the frost. Dex corner door at the angle bend. Dex lamp burning over open files. City blinking like a patient friend. Phone on silent, little red light. Someone needing what they can't afford. Briefcase open with the paper stack. Pen still warm from another war. Coffee cold on the window ledge. Ring of brown where the heat once stayed. I stand there weighing what I own and what it cost me not to fade. I keep my voice low, keep my records neat and straight. In a world built on favors, someone always pays it late. My name's on the door, but the city owns my nights. I move like a gentleman, but I bargain with your vice. I pay for the silence when the truth cuts too bright. Hold the keys to the tower, but I'm chained to all its lights. Walk like I'm untouchable, knowing everything has a price. My name's on the door, but the city owns my nights. Once I leaned in a diner booth, vinyl tone where my shoulders sat, counting bills with a steady hand, while a man across palmed a crooked badge. Signed my name on a napkin edge, first small cut in a bigger game. Told myself it was just one night, now the whole downtown knows my name. And now they knock on the mirrored glass, ties too tight, stories half true. Their mouths talk clean, but their eyes confess all the dirty work they want me to do. I push folders like a bartender, slide and comfort down the grain. Every dotted line they chase writes another number by my name. I keep my smile thin, keep my ledger black and plain. When a deal looks white on paper, there's still shadow in the frame. My name's on the door, but the city owns my nights. I sit in the highlight while I'm buying back your lies. I pay for the quiet when the noise gets too bright. Hold the keys to the tower, but I'm locked into its hide. Walk like I'm untouchable, knowing everything has a price. My name's on the door, but the city owns my nights. Sometimes I step out to the rooftop lot, let the sodium glow hit my face. See your streets like a beaten map, every corner I had to trace. You give crowns made of office keys, but your hands never lose their grip. You send ghosts up through the air vents, whisper names I swore I'd let slip. I tell myself I'm still the one who chooses where the hammer falls, but I feel you breathing through the glass and humming through the walls. If I ever tried to turn my back, leave the marble, take the road, you'd still ride inside my shadow, printed permanent in my code. I built this height from backroom talks and quiet folded hands, paid in secrets, paid in silence, paid in debts that never end. Strip away the leather, the glass, the panoramic view. You just see a man with his own law, letting every line cut through. My name the door, but the city owns my nights. I look like I'm sleeping, but I'm counting every bite. I pay for the silence when the truth burns too bright. Hold the keys to the tower, but I answer to your tide. Walk like I'm untouchable, knowing I'm stitched to this life. My name's on the door, but the city owns my nights. Yeah, my name's on the door, but the city owns my nights.
The bar's been empty for hours, but I'm still here, letting the glass fall. Lighter flicks, another round. Bartender's the only one who calls. You've seen me step in shadows, handle my part with no words to say. But tonight I'm talking, 'cause I can't shake the price that I've had to pay. It was always you and me, side by side, walking that thin line. But now the debts we owe ain't the ones we signed. They're buried deep in my mind. I've cleaned up your messes, kept you clean, but there's a cost we can't ignore. I've held away the silent calls, now I don't know what it's for. We ran this game, or so we thought, but the walls have been closing in. I used to walk tall beside you, now I'm hiding from where we've been. Every favor's got a number, every lie is carved in stone. You say it's just business, but these days I'm wondering if I'm still your own. I'll take the heat, I'll take the blame, as long as you're still in control. But there's a hollow feeling growing deep inside my soul. I've been watching you make your moves, I'm still your hand, your eyes, your shield. But now I see the cracks in the armor, and I wonder what's been concealed. I never asked for the price, didn't know it would feel this cold. Now I'm counting the steps and I'm wondering if I'm getting too old. If loyalty's the currency, then what am I worth tonight? In these shadows, all we have left flight. I've been your shadow on the street, but I can't stay behind no more. I've carried your weight on my back, but tonight I'm closing that door. The cost of loyalty is high, and I'm paying it in full. I was your right hand, your enforcer. Now I'm standing alone, feeling the pull. I watched you climb, thought I'd always be there, right at your side. But you've been slipping through the cracks, chasing things you can't abide. I'm tired of cleaning up your mess, tired of standing in the dark. I'm standing here, wondering when I'll stop being just a mark. So here's my confession, plain and clear, no more silence in my veins. You're still the king, but I'm just a man with too many stains. I'll take my leave, pack my bags, and I'll take what's left of me. But I won't take the blame for you, not when you change so easily. I've seen men like you fall from grace, seen them fade out with no trace. But I'm not gonna be one of them, not tonight, not in this place. I've been holding on too long, it's time to let it go. I'll walk away, take my peace, but I'll never forget the toll. I've been your shadow on the street, but I can't stay behind no more. I've carried your weight on my back, but tonight I'm closing that door. The cost of loyalty is high, and I'm paying it in full. I was your right hand, your enforcer. Now I'm standing alone, feeling the pull. Concrete pillars in a 5-floor garage. Sodium lights buzz like a quiet sabotage. Trunk light open, throws a small white square. Gloves on my hands, nothing out of place there. Red dot blinking on a tight old lens. I mapped every blind spot and dead end. Wipe one print from the handle, close it slow.
Drop the lid gentle like I never had to know. 2 hours back in a low-ceilinged room, card table, cold coffee, slow building doom. Phone on vibrate, sliding over to my side. Just a name and an address, no reason supplied. The elevator hums like a secret it won't tell. My face looks bad from the brushed metal shell. Step out in the hallway where the carpet hides sound. Turn one lock softly, keep my eyes on the ground. This city never sleeps, but it never points a hand. It just keeps what it knows, filed under understand. There's nothing on the camera, nothing on the floor. When I'm done with the moment, it's like it was before. I'm the cleaner you call when your story slips its track. I leave your world still shining with no trail leading back. There's nothing on the camera, but the city still sees me. Every spotless little hallway writes another mark on me. Under the bridge where the concrete meets steel, river moves slow like it's tired of what we seal. I drop one key down a dark iron mouth, watch it disappear like a memory heading south. Boots on loose gravel, step by measured step. Every quiet echo is a promise that I kept. Headlights sweep past as a sedan rolls by. I'll stay in the columns till its taillights leave the sky of white floors clean without a word out loud. Folded up mistakes for the comfortable and proud. They turn off their phones, sleep easy in the sheets. I walk through their silence with the dust under my feet. There's nothing on the camera, nothing on the floor. When I walk away, there's no question anymore. I'm the shadow in the stairwell, the ghost on level 3. You won't see my name printed, but this city's stamped on me. There's nothing on the camera. That's the way I keep you free. But every spotless little secret makes a city mine and me. Diner sign buzzing over cracked white towel. You bent over that lukewarm cup. Booty tapping like a second hand. Eyes too bright for the hour it is now. You got a map folded in your jacket sleeve. Duffel bag parked by your side. I see that ache to leave it all. Same fever that's been steering my ride. Neon paints a line across your face. Makes your promise look brand new. You think the road is all clean when you don't see what it can do. I slide my coffee to the window edge. Watch the pumps out by the lane. Tail lights drifting past the glass like ghosts that never learn their names. Don't follow my tail lights down this road, I know. It looks like freedom when it's dark, but it's a debt you'll never own. I move like an outlaw, but I carry what I've done. Every mile writes another mark in the ledger of my blood. You want your own story, son, not the weight of what I've done. So don't follow my taillights down this road I run. Motel key still warm in my hand. Brass tag with a faded knife. Thin door latch and a crooked chain. Desk clerk who'll never meet your eye. I've locked that door on too many nights. Boots by a suitcase by the bed. Listening for a knock that never comes. Counting every name stuck in my head. I shook hands with men who never smile. Back booths where the blinds stayed down. Past envelopes across the vinyl cracks. Let the highway hide their towns. You think I'm just a man who left wheels and nothing left to lose. Truth is, kid, I'm still employed by every shadow I once used. Don't follow my taillights down this road, I know. It looks like freedom when it's dark, but it cuts more than it shows. I roll like a legend when the gas signs glow. But the miles don't forget you, they remember what you owe. You want your own compass, not my kind of load. So don't follow my taillights down this broken road. Small time miles and tired of counting other men's sins. I tell you every favor taken carves its number in your skin. Look out that glass at the empty lanes and the pump light flickering slow. Ask yourself if you want a life or just a story someone told. Don't follow my taillights down this road I ride.
past this county line. Drop a bill under your cup, push the door and meet the night. Engine turns, the highway hums, and I fade into my own nights. Room key hanging from a bent brass ring. Thin door shivers every time the trucks sing. Curtains glowing with a tight neon red. TV breathing low while I lie on this bed. Got a notepad open on my knee by the light. Ink turns to shadow when I start to write your name at the top. Then I stop, then I stare. Every word I could send says I shouldn't be there. I move between highways, numbers and noise. Gas pumps counting for the broken boys. I've sat in back booths with the kind of men you don't bring home and you don't test twice again. They know my face, they know how I get things done. They know I don't miss and I don't ever run. If they caught your laughter in my worn leather coat, they'd pull on that thread straight back to your front door. You always said love was just choosing a place, but my kind of promise wears a mask on its face. So I'm gone with
that's the only clean truth I've got left. Boots by the door, duffel lean by the chair, motel Bible open, but I don't say a prayer. I fold this letter once, then I fold it again, slide it in the drawer like a secret I won't send. Outside by the pump stands a sleepless old man, watching all the numbers like they're all he understands. I'll pass his reflection when I step to my right, names I never mentioned sitting quiet at my side. If I stayed one more week, you'd start living in my debt, learn the weight of my favors and the calls I never met. You'd stand in the doorway when the bill came due, and I'm not the kind of man who lets the fire touch you. So I'm gone with no forwarding address, just a vacancy sign where we almost came to rest. I'm the stranger you love from the wrong side of the fence, paying down my sins with a disciplined distance. If you ever drive past this cheap little rest, think of me briefly, then wish yourself the best. I'm gone with no forwarding address, that's the last honest promise I can protect. Darkness in my own heart stare, cold on the seat, tie loosened at my throat, ticket in my pocket, folded file in my coat, left my badge in a locker with my name on the door, metal in a drawer while I ride this iron floor. Fluorescent lights whisper down the narrow aisle, every sway of the car feels like I'm on trial. I walk those blocks where the street lights lean, hands in my pockets seen more than I'm seen. Took a plain white envelope from a careful hand, told myself it's nothing, just the cost of this land. Signed my reports like the ink was clean, let a few small devils slip between the lines unseen. Now the numbers don't match and the glances feel wrong. There's a ghost in my notebook humming one slow song. The city pays in secrets, not just in pay, and the badge and the man don't always walk the same way. So I left my badge in the locker, but the weight's still on my chest. I've been walking that border between crooked and the rest. I'm a quiet, dark gentleman in a straight-cut coat, lights in my rear view and a cold in my throat. Badge in the locker, but the night still knows my name. If I don't draw my own line now, I'm just part of the game. Stop, platform boards answer every slow drop. Vending machine humming by a row of cold seats. Paper cup in my hand, cooling over slow steel feet. I walk past the posters, peeling off the wall. Phone in my pocket, heavy like a warning call. Tonight I decide which side of that tape I own, whether I stand with the law or the shadow I've grown. In the glass I see a man with tired eyes and his jaw still set. Not a broken little ghost, just a ledger full of dead. I can't clean every page, can't rewind every scene, but I can lock one more door and step out of that machine. So I left my badge in the locker, but I'm not leaving my spine. If I make one more move, it's gonna walk a straight line. I'm a worn out detective with my back to the track, telling all my old habits there's no right coming back. Badge in a locker, but my word's still mine to keep. I'll carry what I've done and keep this city in its sleep. Tailgate on the nightstand, plastic tag with a fading 9, folded note on the dresser that I never meant you to find. Suitcase half zipped by the doorway, boots already facing east.
map folded in the glove box, every exit like a beast. Neon hum from the diner, coffee cooling by the glass. I watched you wipe down silver, try to fix my second chance. But the phone kept softly buzzing with a number I can't ignore. And a man like me don't stay put when old debts knock at the door. I'm the quiet outlaw of these yellow lines. Every mile remembers what I don't explain. Dashboard glow on my knuckles, steering wheel knows every scar. Radio low, just a murmur underneath this idling car. Billboard blinking, last station, in the mirror growing small, as the dark between these farm lights swallows names I used to call. I could turn back at the crossing, take that left and find your street. Lay this jacket on your chair, leave this life under your feet. But the men who shake my shadow never knock just once and go. They would stand outside your window just to say they told me so. I'm the quiet outlaw of these yellow lines. Every mile remembers what I don't explain. You said you're more than what they whisper in the corners of that room, but I've seen what happens, darling, when the truth gets there too soon. So I'll keep my name in motion, let the rumors ride the wind. Better I stay just a story than a danger at your skin. Vending machine at a rest stop, flicker painting chrome in blue. I lean back on the hood and almost send this text to you. Thumb is hovering on your contact like a trigger half awake. Then I clear the screen in silence, some goodbyes are mine to take. Taillights blur in the distance, just a trucker and his freight. We're two ghosts on different missions, sharing all this empty space. If they ever write my legend on a sign beside this road, they should carve beneath the letters, he left clean the ones he loved. I'm the quiet outlaw of these yellow lines. Every mile remembers what I don't explain. So if you hear an engine humming past your window in the dark, know I checked each hidden corner just to keep you off the mark. I'll be just another shadow fading past your town's last sign. Let the stories chase my boot prints, I'll stay with these yellow lines.
Blinds cover the city in the strips of gold across this floor of dust. You're leaning on the edge of my desk, knuckles white, still humming from the rush. There's a folder by your elbow, corners curled, 3 names written blue. You say they won't be speaking anymore, like it's just another night for you. I twist a cap on a fountain pen, ledger open to a half-filled page. At a date, at a summer, small black marks that never really fade. There's a chessboard by the window, king asleep, pawn still in the line. You think you're playing for a simple win, I'm counting every loss as mine. I move the pieces, you just see the board. Power has a pride you can't name in words. You carry the order, I sign the accord. I move the pieces, you just see the board. Safe hung low behind the frame degrees, steel spine in the wall. Every promise kept in numbered stacks, every quiet favor on call. You wipe a smear of something from your sleeve, pretend it's only dust and rain. I see the way your shoulder shakes once and you log it down again. Desk lamp throws a revolver shadow long, buried deep in the drawer. I hardly ever touch the weight itself, but I'm the one who asks for more. You think I live above the street in blood, just a man in a decent suit. Truth is, every knock you ever made put another root into my roots. I move the pieces, you just see the board. Power has a price you can't name in words. You carry the orders, I sign the accord. I move the pieces, you just see the board. Too far gone with your eyes on the office door. I say you're exactly where I was when I first started keeping score. Every favor is a chain link laid, every secret is a key. You think you're killing for the man upstairs, but you're making another me. I close a ledger with a quiet thud, slide the folder back your way. Take a week at the house by the river, I say clear your head or try to anyway. Boots tap once on the polished floor, echo sharp in the midnight air. In the glass I see a side by side, one who sends and one who goes there. If you stay, this room is waiting with its view and its heavy door. If you run, that road is watching too, with a different kind of war. Either path, you'll hear my voice at night, counting debts you can't ignore. Because once you've moved enough of them, you're never off this board. I'll move the pieces, you just see the board. Power has a price you can't can't send back or return. You carry the orders, I sign the accord. One of us bleeds and one of us burns. I move the pieces, you just see the board. And there's no clean way to leave this board. Platform's almost empty, just the buzzing of the lights. Coffee in a paper cup, gone cold from too many nights. Got a ticket in my pocket, clear my number off the wall. Boots on the scratched up concrete, I still stand like I'm 10 feet tall. You showed up in that new coat, same fire burning in your eyes. I see the rookie in you and the part of me that never lies. You said, tell me how you made it, how you never took the fall. I just watched the scrolling timetable and leaned back against the wall. I worked the squad room in the daytime, walked the alleys after dark, signed reports with one clean hand, fed the other to the sharks. Back rooms with the blinds half open, quiet money changing trades. I wrote the rules in pencil, boy, but some lines I never erased. I saw men sell out their brothers for a stack and half a grin, put their souls in small brown envelopes and slid them gently in. I took favors, took on secrets, took a piece of every game, but I kept one corner sober, kept my hand on my own name. Now you're standing where I stood, right where straight and crooked flood. You think power's just a badge and a gun, but it's the way to what you've done. I walk right up to the line, but I don't step over, son. Shake hands with the shadows, then I turn and I'm still the one. The city pays in silver, but it charges you in bone. You can hold half of the night and still sleep in a house alone. If you're gonna stand in my shoes under this pale station sign, you better learn how to walk to the line. There's a locker down the hallway with a file I never close. Names inside like rusted hinges on a door that no one knows. I've got keys I never use, doors I chose to leave shut tight. Kept some people breathing that another man would ride off tonight. You'll be offered quiet money just to lose a piece of truth. You'll be asked to look away while they bury someone's youth. You can turn your tired shoulders and pretend you never saw, but once you cross that little rail, you don't walk back to the law. Hear that vending machine humming in the corner by the glass. Coins go in, a light comes on, something cold is what you grasp. But this life don't give back change for the peace
the line.
Neon buzzes through the curtains, number flickers on the sign. Room key on the nightstand, with your name still in my mind. Thin walls humming with a TV, in a room I'll never see. Coffee cooling on the dresser, folded note across my knee. There's a duffel by the armchair, with a thin jacket, cash and scars. Boots lined up beside the door like two small obedient guards. I write your name in careful letters, then I cross it out again. 'Cause this message isn't going, it's just how I taught my head. Acid ran to metal light, counting miles on painted markers on every kind of night's name. Met some faces in the diamond who would sell their soul for beds. Met some men in backroom corners who would trade your life for cash. You were always on a sofa, far away from where I go, where the book left on the armrest with a lantern soft and low. I would call you from a payphone, say I'm fine, just running late. Never told you about the briefcase or the man behind that gate. This highway doesn't love me, it just keeps my secrets warm. Every small town in the rear view has another quiet storm. I'm the shadow in the corner of a booth you'll never see. I'm danger at a distance, that's the safest part of me. At the last exit motel, I still leave on my own time. I don't beg the dog for mercy, I just redraw the dotted line. If I walk out in the morning, leave this key against the head, it's 'cause I chose the way I'm leaving, not because I turned and bled. I'm no saint in worn out leather, I'm a man who paid in miles. At the last exit motel, I keep you safe by staying wild. There's a photograph I carry, corners bent from years of hands. You're laughing at a kitchen table, not aware of what I am. Next to that I keep a number written on a faded card, place where people change their names out back behind the scrapyard. I deliver quiet warnings, I've collected quiet dues, left a suitcase in a locker marked with someone else's shoes. Every favor that I'm owed comes with a back door and a price. You don't walk a road like mine without some buried frozen ice. If I ever crossed your doorstep with this history in my eye, you would feel it in the hallway long before one word or line. You deserve a house that's honest, just a welcome by the door, not a man who counts the windows every time he hits the floor. So I sign your name in silence, then I fold this letter twice, slide it underneath the Bible with the gold sign never price. Then I stand and take that duffel, let the engine catch its breath, roll past all the sleeping trailers like I'm driving through what's left. At the last exit motel, I still leave on my own terms. I don't ask the night forgiveness, I remember what I've earned. If I vanish with the sunrise, with no number left to dial, it's 'cause I loved you from a distance, kept you far from where I filed. I'm no ghost in faded denim, I'm a man who chose this mile. At the last exit motel, I keep you safe by staying wild.
Go to the lamp of a peeling blue paint, then bedspread, Bible in the drawer like a fan. The ice bucket sweating on a scarred plywood chair, overnight bag, I'm waiting by the door, I don't know I won't stay there. There's the key card on the table by the phone, screen face down, with that ring cuts to the bone. Another quiet voice saying, I need it gone tonight. And I left my boots in that cheap yellow light. The highway hums through the window like a steady low bass. Paper cup of coffee, slow heat in my face. I walked out of rooms with no names on the mess, left nothing but a coat of silence and a folded address. Diner sign flickers over stainless and chrome. I sit at the counter left the streets gone quiet and the clock's past 8, I'm the last cold favor at the end of your chain. The steady, slow answer when you run out of name. You only call me when it's late, 'cause you know I move careful and I don't hesitate. I'm a dark, calm cleaner with the cold in my veins. I don't carry your guilt, but I walk through your stain. Gas station neon humming by the edge of the road. Gloves in my pocket, collar up to the cold. You're waiting in a sedan by the back fence line. Hands locked tight on the wheel, eyes fixed on mine. You start talking tough, you trip on the truth. There's a picture on the dash of a kid in their youth. You ask me to close something that will crack that face in two, and I shake my head slow, say that part's on you. I've done things I don't list, I've stood where it's thin, but I sleep 'cause I choose which doors I walk in. I can clear out a room, I can wipe down a scene, but I don't touch what makes a man less than he's been. You only call me when it's late, when your own reflection something you can't face straight. I'm the quiet last option at the end of your fear, the shadow you hold and you still dread to hear. You only call me when it's late, but I won't cross every line just to clean your slate. I'm a lone road gentleman with a dangerous aim. I leave with my soul, you stay with your name.
Back room light is flickering slow. Strip of yellow on a dusty floor. Metal table, 2 cold chairs. One wiped clean, one by the door. Your jacket hanging by a single thread on a nail in the peeling wall. Boot prints drying at the threshold line. Say you ran when you should have crawled. Out past the warehouse loading ramp, river pushing at the pilings hard. Old bridge throwing crooked bones over water like a rusted god. Suitcase open by the truck tailgate, gloves still folded where you froze. You left a shadow in the concrete dust that only I was meant to know. Think this story's just another night gone wrong, but every mark I wipe away becomes a name I carry on.
late. I'm the last quiet line between your panic and your fade. When the calls hit my phone at 3, there's no more time to wait. If my boots hit that wet cement, the price is already paid. I don't shout, I don't shake, I just finish what you started and decide who walks away. If you see me, it's too late. Motel key on a plastic ring, swinging loose from your nervous hand. Vending machine humming down the hall, neon buzzing off the nightstand. You kept staring at that thin wood door like your fear could change the lock. I sat still on the edge of the bed, watched the number slide across the clock. Chessboard pattern on the carpet squares, red-brown smear where the lines all crossed. You said I didn't mean to push that far, like intent could pay the cost. I folded up the motel bill, tucked it under that cracked glass tray. Told you, next time choose your words before your gun decides the day. You think the river takes it all, think the dark erases sin, but someone has to stand and sort where the bones and stories end. If you see me, it's too late. I'm the one they call in shadows when they're done with looking brave. When the noise in your chest won't stop and your hands begin to shake. If my boots hit the hallway floor, the truth is all that's left to say. I don't beg, I don't break, I just write it in my ledger and decide who walks away. If you see me, it's too late. Listen close while the dock chains ring, while the river licks the sleeper stones, while the trucks dream under sodium lamps and the bridge hums in its bones. You want the cut and the sharper suit, want your name in quiet talk, but you think edge is the same as code. Think a loud mouth makes a man who walks. One day you'll drop a suitcase too by a door you slam too fast. One wrong word to the wrong hard face and they'll dial my number last. If it's me that steps out of the dark, smelling salt and river steel, you'll know the only choice you have is how silent you can keep this real. I'm not the king, I'm the end, and I'm not the crown. I'm the weight, I'm the steady eye that measures what gets buried, what walks straight. Every stain you think is gone finds a seed inside my head. Every call that brings me running writes your future in my stead. If you see me, it's too late. I'm the cold, clean breath between your heartbeat and the gate. When the night pulls all its cameras back and the river holds its face. If my boots touch down beside you, you're already in that place. I don't curse, I don't pray, I just honor what the code says and decide who walks away. If you see me, it's too late. If you see me, it's too late. the so dark and green. City hummed and had me like a distant low-roll train. Ledger open by mail, leg is bound and number 12. Pen cap on the table, single one I feel. Cameras in the hallway catch the shine on your new shoes. You walk in like a question, I've already weighed the news. Glass of something on a coaster, not a word about the brand. Enveloped by the blotter with a name you won't withstand. Chessboard by the window with a rook still off the board. Safe behind a painting where we keep the real record. You lean against the bookcase like you've climbed another tier. I can feel your heartbeat trying to outrun what you fear. You talk about respect like it's something you can buy, but every loud man with a story ends up easy to identify. I've seen bodies in the margins, names that never made the look. There's a difference between power and a name pinned in a book. I keep it off the books, that's why you're still around. All your little quiet victories never touch this part of town. If your ghost stays in the shadows, you get to walk the street. I decide which line remembers where you laid your hungry feet. I keep it off the books, that's why you breathe tonight. Once I write it in this ledger, it steps out into the light. Desktop, every tooth a different door. Some belong to quiet rooms, some don't open anymore. Folder stamped in red ink with a clip that bears your name. You reach out like you own it, I just smile and take the blame. Tell you one more noisy favor, one more headline on your face, and I'll balance out your column by subtracting you from place. Listen son, keep your voice low when the numbers start to climb. Never flash the kind of muscle that can't read the cost of time. Don't let borrowed empty pride turn your suit into a flag. They put holes through waving colors long before they touch the bag. Shake a hand and sign for nothing, keep your secrets in your head, and remember who is holding every line that keeps you fed. I keep it off the books, that's why you're still around. All your restless hidden wishes never really hit the ground. If your trail lives in my ledger, just in pencil, just in code, you can ride this quiet elevator, you can walk this heavy road. I keep it off the books, but don't confuse it with your right, 'cause the man who holds the ledger chooses who stays out of sight.
dusk in the dark. Ledger open wide, every line another mark. Your old chair waiting with his back to the glass, but it's just me and the slow little ticks as hours pass. Got a folder with your name thin spine in my hand. Light paper heavy like the weight of this whole land. I thumb through the pages like a dealer with a deck. One wrong sum and all that weight snaps a brother's neck. You always love the street lights more than quiet rooms, chasing quick money in the heat that always blooms. Took a side deal in a back door you didn't know. Brought the kind of eyes we never let near a home. I could run every number straight back to your mistake, or bend the trail sideways till it's someone else they take. So I sit with this pen and a slow controlled breath, deciding which small line turns your trouble into death. Everything we build here rests on thin, clear glass. Cracks start whispering long before they ever shatter fast. Black ink, heavy hand, I draw the border you don't see. I keep the balance where the blood and money meet. Quietly, I'm not the one kicking doors, I'm the calm behind the plans. If your name slips off this page, you're no longer in my hands. Black ink, heavy hands, I weigh the cost you try to outrun. I'm the shadow in this office when the night outlasts the sun. You called me brother back when all this felt like play. Thought I just counted, never heard what walls can say. But every quiet column is a promise I won't break. Every rounded number is a life I choose to make. I covered you once when the trail got far too bright. Shifted 3 digits and I swallowed down the light. Now I see the same hunger walking in your shoes. If I save you every time, we both are bound to lose. One day I'll close this ledger, spin the safe's cold wheel, leave the guards and cameras like a ghost behind the deal. Walk down empty hallways with my tie in my hand, leave you just this warning, not a gun, but still a brand. Black ink, heavy hands, I draw the border you don't see. If you cross it one more time, you won't be in here with me. I'm not the king of this world, I'm the judge of where it stands. Numbers hold the chair up high, I just keep it off your hands. Black ink, heavy hands, this is the last night I defend. Either learn the weight of lines, or this chapter is
Steel steps under my boots echo low in the loading bay. Forklift sleeping in the corner like a beast that lost its way. Flashlight beam on the concrete, chalk lines from another night. Someone wiped them with a rag, but the floor still remembers the fight. Black sedan by the fence line, engine ticking as it cools. 2 cups on the dashboard, one for me, one for a fool. Your name sits in my earpiece, but your phone stays cold and black. I'm the one they call at midnight when they need things not to come back. Clipboard on a folding table, cargo numbers, crooked ink. Crates stacked under rusted girders closer to the river's brink. There's a jacket on the railing, the same cut that you like to wear, but the pockets feel too empty, and the smell of you's not there. Hallway lights keep softly blinking, one is dead above the door. Every shadow here has history, every scuff has seen this floor. I can feel you in the distance, picking sides inside your head, while I count the quiet choices between loyalty and bread. I don't shout, I don't beg, I just straighten up my tie. If you cross me on this water, this old bridge will hear you lie. I'm the quiet man at the docks when the city looks away. I'm the hand behind the handle that decides who walks away. I don't write my name on paper, I don't sign the deals they talk, but if you break the code we roll, I'll be waiting where the floodlights start. Old bridge ribs above the river, iron bones against the sky. Headlights strip the wet black rail and draw your outline passing by. Your reflection in the window of a truck that should be mine. There's a suitcase in the backseat and you're 2 steps off the line. I could call and let you answer, hear you swear you're still my blood, but the river keeps its counsel and this dock remembers mud. So I watch you meet a stranger by the shadows of a crane. Every nod you give him quietly carves another mark in my name. I don't shout, I don't plead, I just loosen up my jaw. If you gamble with my shadow, this old bridge will teach you law. I'm the quiet man at the docks when the city looks away. I'm the hand behind the handle that decides who walks away. I don't write my name on paper, I don't sign the deals they talk, but if you break the code we wrote, I'll be waiting where the floodlights start. You remember back in back rooms, counting money on the floor. You said, brother, if it's ever me or you, we close that door. Now the only door between us is a chain link and a lie, and I'm calm enough to choose which side of it survives the night. I'm the quiet man at the docks when the sirens fade away. I'm the line you never cross if you still wanna dawn someday. I don't carve your name in marble, I don't brag about this walk, but if you sell the code we bled for, I'll be waiting where the floodlights start.
just a quiet man at the dock. Glass wall throwing back my face, city burning in 1,000 squares, desk lamp halo on an open file, your name tucked in the papers there. Leather chair still holds your shape from when you sat here one last time. You said, I don't care what you really do, I just want you not to climb. Key guard turned, I walked you out, watched the hallway swallow up your dread. Door swung shut with a quiet click, floorboards humming with stress, cufflinks shining on my wrist like tiny mirrors I can't hide. Poured a drink and let the phones ring twice before I chose which side. You see the skyline, not the wires, see the suit, not the stain. You hear my name in whispered rooms, not the numbers with your name. So the door stays locked and the blinds stay half drawn low. I run this city from a quiet room, you don't need to know. I keep my hand on the ledger, keep my back to all that glass. You keep your heart in the daylight, far from everything I pass. You think you want the power, the only way I love you. We had nights on the outer road, cheap motel humming by the sign, suitcase leaning on a crooked stand, your laugh tangled up with mine. Back then I only had a single key, single deal, one crooked call. You smiled and said one day you'll own those lights, like it was nothing at all. Later on in a borrowed car, highway lines rolling like a reel. I shook a hand in a shadow light, felt this life turn iron real. You held my jacket at the door, didn't ask why my eyes looked wrong. I told you, trust me one more time, knowing I'd be gone too long. You saw the hunger, not the cost, saw a road and called it fate. You never saw the open files with your name beside the way. So the door stays locked and the blinds stay half drawn low. I sign off deals in the quiet hum where you don't need to go. I keep my hand on the ledger, keep my word like steel and glass. You keep your world in the daylight, far from what I let slip past. You think you want the stories, think you want this top floor view,
only hum of the building's lungs. And this letter I won't send yet. Crystal glass on the corner edge, untouched, catching neon smear. Your photograph in the bottom drawer is the only honest thing in here. I can call you up from your quiet street, watch you walk through that bright hall, take your hand, turn the deadbolt key, let you see how I don't fall. But every man I ever moved against kept a face too close to yours. I don't bring that to your bed, I keep that poison in these floors. This life writes small in ink and breath, trades in whispers more than sound. You don't stay king by being loved, you stay king by standing ground. My coat is sharp, my hands are stained, my calm is all I really own. I pay for every floor I climb by standing up here on my own. So the door stays locked and the light stays soft and warm. I hold this city like a loaded truth, I keep outside your storm. I keep my hand on the ledger, keep my name where shadows do. You keep your nights without my ghost, walking home behind you. If you ever stand beneath these towers, wondering if my heart is stone, know the door stays locked because of you. That's the crown I wear alone.
Platform's quiet, only the hum of a distant train. I'm standing at the edge, leaving behind the city's pain. The lights flicker like ghosts, still haunting the streets I've known. I've made my bed with the shadows, now I'm walking out alone. The city's been a lover, but she cuts deeper than a knife. Now I'm taking the last train, trying to leave behind this life. I've burned too many bridges, made too many deals in the dark. The faces I betrayed now haunt me like a permanent mark. But the city keeps its secrets, whispers in the alleyway. I'm leaving for the last time, but the past won't fade away. The money, the power, the night spent chasing dreams, they all slip through my fingers now,
fading light, forgotten schemes, and the train's coming closer. It's my last chance to run, but the city still calls my name like it's never been undone. I'm taking the last train now, leaving this city behind, but I can't outrun the ghost of what I've done. All the seeds I've sown, every step away from this place is a weight I can't erase. The city's got its claws in me, even as I turn my face. I'm taking the last train out, but I'll carry her in my soul. The past never really leaves, it's the price I pay for control. There were faces I should have saved, hands I should have shook, but the life I chose never asked for a second look. I see the shadows in the rear view as the city fades away, but I know deep inside me that I'll never be okay. It's not the leaving that hurts, it's knowing I can't win. The city never forgets, and it's always pulling me back in. The whistle's blowing out, the doors are closing fast. I'm leaving everything behind me, but the past will always last. I'm taking the last train out, leaving this city behind, but I can't outrun the ghost of what I've done. All the seeds I've sown, every step away from this place is a weight I can't erase. The city's got its claws in me, even as I turn my face. I'm taking the last train out, but I'll carry her in my soul. The past never really leaves, it's a price I pay for control. it behind